So, dear Refugee Tales friends, here's a short film responding to one of the Refugee Tales walking inquiry questions. How are people detained in the UK? So I've been thinking, just how does the UK detain over 20,000 people a year and about 1,000 at any one time? These are people who are students, refugees, workers, children, victims of trafficking and violence, who may have been living in the UK for many years. They're us, just without the paperwork. But let's start with the buildings. There are 7 large immigration removal centres in the UK, better called detention centres in my opinion, 6 in England and 1 in Scotland. They are effectively prisons. They look like prisons and they operate like prisons. As well as the detention centres where people can be held indefinitely, there are also short-term holding centres. There's one of these in Northern Ireland, one in Manchester and others in ports and airports. And last year, around 400 people on any one day were detained under immigration rules in actual prisons. Stuck in a detention centre, detainees are isolated and physically separated from help and from friends. There'll be no access to the internet and sometimes not even to phones. How can anyone work on their case and keep in touch with their loved ones? There is a right to legal aid, but being isolated in a detention centre under threat of removal makes it hard to talk to a solicitor, let alone persuade them to take on your case. If your case does get to court, you won't. You'll be looking at the screen in the detention centre without even a lawyer or interpreter by your side. Nevertheless, the government's own figures show that last year, up to September 2020, 69% of immigration detainees were given bail and released from detention. But released to what? Many are released to destitution with no cost to public funding, while others are released to Home Office funded accommodation and to a cashless payment of £35.39 per week. In effect, they will be detained in the community and will have to agree to conditions such as wearing an ankle tag. Almost everyone released from detention will have to attend reporting centres. These are key parts of the detention system. Their role is to monitor former detainees and bring people back into the detention centres. Anyone on immigration bail knows that each time they sign at a reporting centre, they might end up in the holding areas of the reporting centre and return straight back to detention. All but one of the detention centres, all the short-term holding centres, all the reporting centres and the asylum accommodation is managed for profit by private companies. International companies such as Serco, MITI, Geo, Clearspring and G4S all have contracts with the UK Border Agency. These companies are the glue that holds the system together. Private companies also provide escort services, moving people in locked vans between detention centres. This can happen at any time, day or night. Convicted prisoners can't be moved at dead of night, but people in immigration detention can. It will also be private companies who arrange deportation flights. Victims of this system will be transported, shackled, to scheduled or privately chartered planes. So to sum up, how are people detained? The system works by isolating people in prison-like detention centres, monitoring and controlling people by refusing them the means to work and live in the community, processing people for the benefit of profit-making companies.